You guys ever heard of that before? Form follows function. It's like design mantra of all time. I kind of tend to think it's almost right. If it's true, we'd all live in white-on-white buildings and there'd be nothing else. I kind of add this part of it, which is that we still are creatures of ceremony and ritual, and that if the form follows function was really true, I'd eat sushi with a fork. It's just kind of wrong. Even if you're not good with chopsticks, it's just kind of not correct. And there was a lot of studies done early on about everyone thought with computers that, and e-readers that everyone would get rid of books. No one would be buying books anymore. They're not buying books, but they're buying them on Amazon now. But this idea of, with certain people, I like the weight of a book. I like the idea the weight's in my right hand, not my left hand. As I go through the book and I start having a sense of accomplishment, the weight's transferred, there's the smell. All those kind of things really play into who we are as people and what makes us happy and how we are motivated for decision-making process. So if you look for a ceremony a lot of times, and this is what's changed a lot over time, is technology would perform a new function. We'll hire a designer or an architect or somebody just to come up with a new form package. So you see a lot with platform design. But what's going on now is you're actually starting to see the immersion of people understanding the ceremony is where it's at. If you find the ceremony, then worry about the form and function. Because the ceremony builds meaning and starts developing a need that somebody actually wants, as opposed to let's just do it because we can do it. So this is something that I bring up quite a few times when I do talks. We as human beings are analog creatures. We're not digital creatures. The problem is that our technology is not quite where it should be. And so as a limitation of the technology, we find digital solutions to analog problems. And this is where you potentially run into problems. So if you think, again, of Apple's a good thing because they do a lot of this. When they stole from Xerox the idea of trash can icons to throw away files as opposed to a code thing, they started to tap into our fundamental understanding of how we think intuitively and naturally, which is based on analog thought process. So process. And this goes back to not being good at everything. So in the design process, to make meaning, I've kind of got this really elaborately long thing. So empathy, you've got to recognize the problem. You can't fix anything or do anything if you don't know it exists. You've got to have a sense of imagination, which is great. Knowledge definitely helps. Creativity, how to use that knowledge, how to actually be inventive. The skill to actually produce it to a point where you can get others to join in. It's the reason that I draw. One, I'm illiterate, so that helps. But if I write a description of a car, it'd be 300 pages long, and if I gave it to everyone to make, it'd come back with 300 different cars. But if I do a drawing of a car, it's just another communication tool. Everyone's on the same page, and we can work together efficiently to actually execute that. So that comes into different skills. Being inventive, we talked about, equals meaning.